Welcome to episode number 37 of Profit or Loss, the series where I take faulty eBay electronics, try and fix them and turn them into a profit. Recent weeks haven't been very kind to me. However, this is the day where everything changes. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. Today we have a very large box for something that isn't too large. I paid a grand total of £40 for this Nintendo Switch-like console. Now talk to me about good condition. Screen-wise, lovely. Couple cracks on the shell that we have, if the camera will focus, up by where the game card reader is, and there's a crack down here, and that port actually looks a little bit out of place. Potentially someone has dremeled around on the plastic to make sure that it fits, but all the screws are intact as well, so this is going to be an interesting one. And Lord help me, if I don't see any profit soon, we'll have to rename the series Joey Sells Cotton Buds. Heading on over to our microscope, how is the port looking? Yeah, someone's definitely taking some of the plastic out of this, hey, in an attempt to maybe fit the port in. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it's had a port replacement already, but the port itself doesn't look in bad shape. I find it very hard to believe that this is the original factory port, but I'm going to plug in the ammeter and see what kind of a current draw we get. This is our ammeter, by the way. When I plug this into the console, like I've just stated, it should give us some sort of a reading as to how much current is being drawn by the Nintendo Switch Lite. This little doohickey device here, the ammeter, along with all my other tools and equipment, will be linked down below in the description. They are affiliated links, so I get a little bit of a kickback whenever you buy anything within that session on both AliExpress and Amazon. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Here we go. Okay, so we get something. Oh, and then nothing. Hold on. Do we just have a bit of a loose port? It did light up, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. Let's try it the other way. I'll have to look back on the edit to see if it lit up or not, but I think it did. Nothing, supposedly. So whether or not we might have just potentially shorted something, because we're having a look with the... Oh, there we go. I definitely saw a light there. Bit of a strange one. The Nintendo Switch doesn't like something, which is why it's turning on, then off. I'm going to get this apart and go down to board level to see what's going on. Before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay are PCB specialists. From creating your own personal PCB with various sizes, different colors, and complete customization, to sharing a project that you've created, PCBWay has it all. They're also launching their 6th annual project design contest, where you can enter right now up until the 15th of January for your chance to win some amazing prizes. Check them out using the link in the description down below. Okay, board is out of the chassis. How are we looking? This is definitely a port that has been changed over. We can tell from the big bit of solder we have here. Not enough solder that we have down here. Some flux residue around the board as well. How does the back look? It's a tidy job though. It's a tidy job. Yeah, the back looks absolutely fine. I'm just quickly checking for any missing components or anything like that, but we look okay. No blown ICs from what I can see. Alright, so let's start by just checking and making sure that this is definitely soldered to the board. We're going to take our poking tool and poke. Do we have a solid connection? Do you know what? I would go ahead and say yes. I'd say yes, we do have a solid connection there. And the fact that it flashes on both sides of the ammeter, I would say that maybe even the pins underneath are fine as well. There is just something that is not happy on this board that's causing the ammeter to do that. So let's check. I don't want to take the port off the board just yet. May give us some incorrect readings, but I'd rather check a few things with the port on first, rather than just making more work for myself. So we'll check the fuse. So do we have a continuous path through the fuse? Yes, we do. Okay, let's check around BQ and M92. I've had a short on this cap before, but do we have a short now? No, we don't. Okay. Any other shorts? No. Okay, so no shorts around BQ. M92, how are you? Whoa, a short on this cap. Okay. All right, well, that could be potentially the port soldered incorrectly, but I'm going to go with just a bad M92, to be honest with you. It's a 5 ohm short, so it's not a short to ground. This cap is also shorted. Oh, wait a minute. I have a feeling this is the dreaded CPU cap, which is the same one on the Nintendo Switch. So we have a short to ground on this cap. And to be honest with you, it looks like it's been changed, this capacitor here. Definitely look like some work's been done. Has M92 T36 been changed? I think so. I think someone's changed M92 T36 on this as well. Yeah, it looks like it. They've done a great job, don't get me wrong, but extra work has been done here. So we've got a 5 ohm short, so it's not a short to ground, which can be a little bit dangerous. Okay, well, I think first things first, I'm going to take off M92 T36. I'm going to see if that alleviates the short from these little caps that we have on the top right and this cap down here. But if I'm being honest with you, I'm pretty doubtful. But I mean, today I need to be positive, so I take that back. It's gonna get rid of the short. Here we go. Let's apply some nice generous heat. It's getting a little bit colder here in the UK, so I need to start warming my boards up a little bit more rather than just going with direct heat, because that's how you can cause like the bubble and cracks on the PCB. Too much direct heat isn't great. Yeah, that came off really, really easy. Just ensuring that we don't have any bridges there. Okay, do we still have our shorted components? Let's have a look. So that, okay, right. So we have a short here. What's the reading that I'm getting? I'm only getting an ohm now. Take out the leads of the equation, and that's about 0.6, 0.6, 0.7. So this potentially is just a short to ground. Okay, and the short's gone on these caps here. So we did have a bad M92 T36, unless it was carrying the short from here over to here. Any other caps? Oh, wait a minute. So this one's shorted as well. So this cap up here is shorted. That one isn't. So we have a shorted cap here and a shorted cap here. What's the resistance on this short? Okay, so that's ground, and that's now showing under an ohm. So I'm assuming this is the same short. I could be wrong. I don't know if these caps are linked. I don't think they are, to be honest. And like I said, I think someone's changed out this cap before, thinking that maybe it was the cap that was the issue. So what I'm going to do, because we have a short to ground and we don't have that much resistance anymore, I'm actually going to inject voltage. I'm going to start with the voltage down here at this cap, and then I'm going to look at this cap as well to see if anything gets hot on the board that, you know, sticks out. I don't think, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I do not think the port is going to be causing these shorts. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that would essentially be screaming at me, telling me to remove the port so I get a more accurate reading. So I am going to do that, and then I'm going to come back and measure to see if that has made a difference. I would do that if I suspected that the port was put on incorrectly or badly, but I don't think that is the case. All right, the port has now been removed. As you can see, there's no rip pads or anything like that, which is nice. Do we still have shorted components? Okay, we still have a short on this cap, and we still have a short on this cap. So it wasn't down to a dodgy port being installed. The port was fine. Let's inject some voltage. I just wanted to note, before I injected voltage, I've come over to this chip here, which is a Max IC chip. If I put my multimeter into continuity mode, if I put the probe here, I get ground. It's a short to ground, as well as this side. So I have a short to ground on this cap here. This cap is fine. And I have another short to ground on this cap here. But if I flip the board over and go to our other Max IC, which is located down here, the readings around this area seem to be okay. I think we might have an issue with this Max IC. But again, I don't know if that is going to resolve our issue on this cap here. I believe it may fix our issue for this cap. I think this cap is going to be related somehow to the Max IC. But this one, again, it's the dreaded CPU cap. I can't believe it, to be honest. My luck has been quite rotten recently, some would say. But yeah, this cap here is usually a CPU cap. I won't stop until I try and eradicate this short today. I'm going to just try and pull off everything I can to see if we can fix it. Worst case, we just learned something, okay? So I'm going to inject in the 3 different caps that I've just shown you. The dreaded CPU cap is actually drawing an amp, but nothing getting hot on the board at all, as you can see. No indications of heat whatsoever. The cap slightly above M92 T36 that I was showing you, again, nothing. No signs of heat at all. And now the caps around the Max IC that I was talking about, drawing again a 1 whole amp and just nothing getting hot on the board. So Joey, have you just wasted money again? Perhaps. But let's just pull stuff off and see what happens, starting with these caps. See you later. See you later. I was trying to move the board down because it was out of range and I've ended up knocking a resistor, so let's just put that back very quickly. Get back there. Starting with those 2 things gone, is our short gone? No. I'm going to go with the next logical thing that I saw, and it's going to be this Max IC here. What's that? Is that a little crack, actually? Wait a minute. Or just maybe that was where I was probing the cap with my hot air. I think so. But look, as you can see, look, very fragile. Very, very fragile. Unfortunately, these are the hard truths of buying from eBay. I might be the 9th person who's managed to actually pick up this Nintendo Switch Lite. I could also be the 2nd, but someone else has definitely looked at this before me. Different to actually, you know, running repairs as a service. If you run repairs as a service, 9 times out of 10, people are coming to you pretty much straight away as soon as a fault's developed, and that repair becomes 90% easier because you know somebody else hasn't been in it. Buying stuff and trying to repair it on eBay, as you can see from Sally's spectacular spreadsheet, hasn't been so spectacular. I'll just put a little bit of solder on my iron just to ensure we don't have any bridges. We don't want that to potentially skew our results. This cap here that I had a short with before, I still have a short. I still have a short here. Obviously, one of these sides is ground. I'm assuming this one is ground. But if we go over here, have we eradicated the shorts in this area? No, we still have a short here. Do we have a short here? Yes, we still have a short. Okay, all right. General inspection of the board. I can't see anything that is blown up or that might cause issues. I've tried following a bunch of traces as well to the back of it, and yeah, I've got no idea, to be honest with you. Shock. Let's just remove BQ, see what happens. Any change in behaviour? Exactly the same. I'm just going to remove the 2 caps that were shorted. Any difference? Nope, still shorted. Still shorted. Okay. Again, this had pretty good readings around it as well. I'd say pretty good, just normal in comparison to what I've had before. I did just knock a bunch of that. So we'll just quickly smooth that out. There we go. Any change? Nope, still get a short. And this one? Still get a short. I'm going to remove the Wi-Fi IC as well. I know that might be a little bit strange, but anything goes at this point. Tough chip to get off because of how flat it is. Not using the best tweezers for it, but... Any change? Nope. Nope. I think it's CPU time. Let's take our CPU off. Oh, I had to do that off camera because obviously it's not the easiest job to do, especially when recording. So I've now taken it off. I actually heat from underneath. I'm just going to really quickly get rid of the thermal paste that we have on the pads. Take my iron, add some leaded, and just go over all of it to ensure we don't have any shorts. Not shorts, sorry, bridges. There we go. Every pad looks clean, in my opinion. None of them touching. Lots and lots and lots of flux to clean up, as you can see. And there we go. Okay, so I think we can all agree that there's no bridge pads there to form a short. Let's check and see if our short is gone. Multimeter in continuity mode. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay, fine. Short's gone. So from both of these places, the short has disappeared. Check here as well. Yeah, short has gonzo. So there we have it. I guess that confirms it, at least for this APU, that it was definitely faulty. Could I replace the APU? I could. I don't know how it works with internal memory on a switch like that. I don't know if you can just swap APUs. Maybe something to revisit in a live stream. If we have a look here, there is a pad that is a bit torn. Will potentially be a pad that's come off from the board, I imagine. Indeed it is. So yeah, this APU is going in the bin. Where does that one correlate to? Ah, it's here. So there's that rip pad that was on the APU, but that looks like a no connect, so very fragile pads anyway. So we continue our loss streak. Should we move on to our next item in the hopes that we can bring a little bit of a profit in this video? Welcome to the game, ye old trusty PlayStation 5. I refuse to not make a profit today. I refuse. I paid a grand total of £180 for this console. Looks in alright condition, but this is slightly a bit cheaper than the other consoles that I buy on eBay, and it could be for a really bad reason. Can you see this crack? It's a no power PlayStation 5, and usually cracks like this indicate that it's been dropped, and therefore I'm actually really worried that we might have suffered some sort of damage to the APU. I need you to cross your fingers that that isn't the case. What symptoms do we get when plugging it in? Anything happen? Do we get a beep or anything like that? 3, 2, 1. Okay, one beep. Blue light. And off. Okay, one beep, blue light and off. Check again. One beep, blue light and off. Is that blue light or is that a white light? It's a blue light. Confirm blue light. Okay, let's get it taken apart. We're just taking the top plate off and it is screaming repair. Warranty sticker was taken off and then a new one was placed on, and then that one's also been taken off. We have this sticker missing that goes here. This bit is also cracked and broken. Lordy, lordy, lord. We have a little bit of yellowing around the fan area as well. I've opened the console up and the first thing I see is a ridiculously stripped screw which covers the APU with the heatsink, and also a liquid metal blob. So that's going to be interesting right here. So potentially some spilt liquid metal. We shall see, hey? I've just briefly lifted up the board. I haven't taken it off fully, but I cannot tell you how bad this is. This is bad. If I just show you, so the antenna stuff, for whatever reason, has obviously been taken off. So this console's been opened and attempted repair before. I mean, brace yourself for this. I just lifted this bit up and saw underneath. So just brace yourself. Don't say I didn't warn you, okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. Oh my gosh. Someone's opened that up, taken a look and gone, nope, I am not touching it, because that is just RIP. I'm obviously going to attempt to clean this stuff up because I can't be wasting this money. I mean, the chassis itself is, look at it. Oh, it's absolutely everywhere. It's even like the battery's missing. Well, at least I think we know what the issue is. I just decided to go a little bit radio silent and just get my clean on. Take care of all the liquid metal that I possibly could. There's a specific bit here which looks really, I mean, the whole board is obviously really, really bad, but what I'm going to do is take that big inductor off just to get in between everything. You can see, like, even after I've done, like, I've been cleaning for a while now, and even then there's still, you see there, like, these are the bits that you can't really see without going under the scope, but those two pins are there for bridging, you know? So I'm going to have to just go over the whole board and try and give it the best clean I can. This is most probably a lost cause, but I have to give it a go. This was under the inductor as well. You can see that there's quite a bit of liquid metal underneath. So essentially, liquid metal is conductive. So the reason why this is most probably beep on beep off is it's definitely taken a tumble of some sort. Liquid metal has just gone absolutely everywhere. And you're going to have a lot of things that are ground, shorted to ground, and they're not meant to be. So it's just rinse and repeat. Isopropyl alcohol on a cotton swab, lots of it, to be able to move the liquid metal around. That's the only way you're able to do it, that I found anyway. But then just grouping it up and removing it from the board. This area was obviously very badly hit. Oh yeah, I'm not going to show you all of this. I just wanted to show you what I'm currently having to do. Okay, that area is donezo from what I can tell. Okay, just skimming over the board. I've probably been at this now for about 45 minutes. Still stuff everywhere. Okay, I now need to just quickly clean up what I can here. It wouldn't surprise me if the actual gasket itself was okay, because if it's taken full damage, that's not going to be enough to break the glue underneath, I don't think. So if I can just somehow get all of this off with a little bit of patience, then we might be okay. I could also be completely wrong, and we might have liquid metal all around, well, all under the APU, which would in fact be GG. Let's suck up this liquid metal. I'm just going to come back in and clean the die, because I'm going to inspect it and see if I've got any chips or cracks on it as well. How are the corners looking? What's that? Is that just a little bit of... yeah, okay, fine. So that corner's good. That corner... yeesh. This corner does in fact look chipped. It is. That is not a proper corner. Proper corner, is that even a word? Who knows? But you see how these are all crisp, nice and 90 degrees. This corner is not nice and crisp. It is in fact dented, cracked, damaged. And if we have a look underneath the APU, do we have any liquid metal? What's that? Is that... okay, yeah, nice. Right, perfect. Just the perfect amount of liquid metal underneath the APU. Anywhere else? Probably there a little bit as well. There. Nice. Okay, alright. After a lot of patience using a toothbrush and a lot of IPA, I think I managed to get majority of it off, except for in this little corner there seems to be a tiny weeny bit, but I can't get to it. I've tried all sorts to try and get to it. I don't want to use like a can of air or anything because I don't want to push it back further underneath the APU. Right, let's give it a test. Just to confirm, I have put the battery back as well as that inductor that I took off originally. I'm placing it into a different chassis for obvious reasons. Turn down the exposure so you can see. What we're doing here is looking out for the LED over here on this strip. If the PlayStation turns on and lasts longer than 2 seconds, then we're heading in the right direction. If not, I'm probably just going to call it there. If it beeps on and beeps off, there's no point in me pursuing this further. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. No shot. There's no way this stays on. There's no way I see this go to a white light. There's no way. Oh, that's a white light. It's now gone back to a blue light, but I think it's repair. I don't believe it. It's on a white light. There's one beep. I need another beep to shut it down. It's now shutting down. I can't believe it. Honestly, I thought this was one of the worst PS5s that I've actually seen. And now it's working. What? I've cleaned out the liquid metal as much as I possibly can. I'm going to put it back together and see if we get a display. I don't believe it. You cannot write this, by the way. I'm just swapping over the heatsink because I want the serial number to show on the outer casing. And I've just removed the metal chassis on the original casing. And look what I found. Look at that juicy, juicy nail. Like, what? I have to take the whole thing apart anyway because as you can see, it's very dusty and clogged inside. But yeah, just... Unbelievable. Okay, moment of truth. Spoilers, I've disabled HDCP so that you can see it working on OBS rather than me having to film with my phone, etc. I've installed both Spider-Man and Far Cry 6. I've tested the Wi-Fi. This drive, obviously there was an update as soon as I connected it to the internet. That all went through A-OK. So this console seems to be fixed. What I am going to have to do is play it for a few hours just to make sure, I think for my brain, before I sell it, to make sure that it is all okay. Now, when I do go to list it on eBay, it's going to be slightly cheaper than what I would usually sell a PlayStation 5 disc edition console for, with a clear description to inform the buyer exactly what has happened to it and what I've done to resolve it. Finally, it feels good to at least get a fix. Now let's head on over to Sally's spectacular spreadsheet to see if we made any profit, because we still had a loss on our first item. Okay, so here we have cost of 220. I didn't spend any money on parts. I simply just give it a really good clean. Just confirmed cost, PS5 was 180 and the Switch Lite was 40. That gives us the 220. Sell price at the moment, I'm seeing them on eBay go from anywhere from 300 to 400 pounds. The 300 ones, even some of them were faulty. I feel like because Christmas is coming up, the demand is higher, therefore the price is slowly going up a little bit of second-hand consoles, which is good for this time of the year. If I had a good condition one, I'd probably try and sell it for around about 340, 350. So what I'm going to go with this is 320. And again, just explain exactly what happened in the description. So if we type in 320, do we have a profit? We do. Come on. Profit made of £77.92. Update here, 77.92. It's good to see green, leaving our total profit now of only, I say only, but it's still quite a lot, minus £157.47. Let's hope this is the beginning of a turning point. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll like the last episode in the series, which I'll leave up here. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also hit the like button if you enjoyed this particular video. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go. Peace.